Hi, I'm Chris Dickinson from Artisan. I'm going to show you how to make a pizza from frozen dough balls. Firstly, we take our frozen dough from the freezer and place into a food grade tray. These size trays take approximately 12 dough balls, and we need to place them in the tray, allowing enough room around the dough ball for it to prove later on in the process. When we've got our dough into our tray, it's very important that we put our frozen dough back into the freezer before it defrosts. Now we have our frozen dough balls put in our tray. It's very important before we put it into the fridge to cover it with a lid or another tray to prevent the drying out or cracking of the dough. This now goes into the fridge for 12 hours depending on the size of the dough balls. While our dough is defrosting in the fridge, our yeast is maintained under a constant temperature between 1 and 5 degrees. This is very important to prevent the dough from proving. It is also allowing our flour and water ice crystals to slowly dissolve back into their normal states. We are now ready to go to the next process of making a pizza. This involves a two-stage process that is perfect for beginners. Firstly, we remove our dough from the fridge. We remove the cover and place to the left, and bring in some white flour to a nice pile in the middle of our table. Using a scraper, we remove the dough gently, trying to keep it in a disc or ball, and place it in our flour. We take 2 balls to do this process at the same time. Once our dough balls are in the flour, we gently cover, put one on top of the other and press into a 6-inch disc. We then take some of our flour and lightly dust into the tray and place our dough discs like so. We continue this process until we've used the entire dough balls in the tray like so. When we have our tray of 6 dough discs, we continue the operation just with a light dusting the flour over the top of our dough discs, and continue that until we've used the whole 12. Once we've got 12 in the tray, we place an empty tray on top of our dough discs and leave for 15 minutes. During these 15 minutes, the dough disc is starting to prove at room temperature. This is enabling the yeast to start its work on our dough disc. After our dough has rested for 15 minutes, our dough is ready for the stage 2 process. Here you can see our discs have slightly risen where the proving process has taken place. This is done by taking some semolina flour in this case, which will provide us extra crispiness in the oven. We take 1 dough disc from the tray and place it into our semolina and push down, only using the fingertips, never placing our hands flat. We can turn the disc over to allow the semolina to be coated on both sides. When we have reached a size of approximately 9 inches, we place our fingertips on the rim. You lightly press down, slide across the table to stretch, and then rotate, making sure that when we rotate, where our left hand was goes in the middle of our next stretch. and so on and so forth. So it's press, stretch, rotate. Press, stretch and rotate. When we have reached our 12-inch, we shake our flour off and place our pizza down on the side. We are now ready to top our pizza. Firstly, we take our pizza sauce and put it in the middle of our stretch pizza and spread it out from the centre, leaving about a thumbnail's width around the edge. You can then use either mozzarella cheese or a blend of cheese, mozzarella cheese and cheddar, and you place that on top of your pizza in the centre. Carefully you push out the cheese to cover all the sauce, making sure none of your cheese goes over the edge because that will stick to the bottom of your oven. So basically the sauce is your glue to hold on your cheese. The pizza I'm going to show you today is a Peking pizza using duck. So here's our duck. We scatter that over the surface of the pizza. And we're now ready to put the pizza into the oven. How do we get this pizza into the oven? Well, that's by the use of a pizza peel. And carefully, what we have to do is tease the peel underneath the pizza, bring it towards us and flick it onto the peel until it is on the pizza peel. We then take it over to the oven and then carefully slide it off in the reverse. It's been cooking in there for about 5 minutes at a temperature of 310 degrees, straight on the stone. This is a Peking pizza, so it needs topping out with spring onions, and cucumber. And of course the magic ingredient, some hoisin sauce. And there is our Peking pizza. How many things can you make from a dough ball?